What is good? It's your boy JG Tennis back with another video today. So this is gonna be a part one of two videos where I'm gonna be going to the soccer championships at John Hunt Park. If y'all remember, I went 2 years ago to watch Rebecca Sierra and the Springville girls win it all during that time. But now I'm about to go watch Springville again, but this time it's the boys. But what's also crazy is that that's not the only school that's in this championship. Altamont made the championship. And of course, I gotta go watch them. So they play at 4:30, which is probably about a few hours after. So I'm finna go watch that game. Oh, I gotta go back in and get my charger. But yeah, so be ready for an action-filled day of soccer and friends. I'm gonna be posting a lot of pictures on Instagram, looks like it. And yeah, let's go Springville and let's go Altamont. Oh. There we go. What's good? It's your boy JG Tennis back with another video today. So today we're gonna be talking about the Pac-12 conference, their playoff struggles. During the 14 playoff, the Pac-12, which is not a conference, and well, I think it still is a conference. The Pac-12, why was the Pac-12 barely in the playoffs? That is a great question, and it's one a lot of college football fans and analysts have debated for years. During the 14 playoff, the college football playoff era 2014 through 2023, the Pac-12 was barely represented because of a mix of on-field performance, perception, and structural disadvantages. So let's talk. The first part, inconsistent top teams. Unlike the SEC, Big Ten, or even ACC, the Pac-12, and they forgot Big 12 before they switched, the Pac-12 rarely had a dominant, consistent powerhouse during that period. Oregon, 2014, was elite and made the playoffs. Washington in 2016 made it too, but after that, no Pac-12 team made the top four because no one program stayed dominant long enough to build playoff credibility until 2022 Washington. Or no. Yeah, 2023 Washington, sorry. Number two, cannibalization. Teams beating each other. The Pac-12 had a lot of parity, even the best teams. USC, Oregon, Washington, Utah, etc. often lost one or two conference games because the league was so even. A two-loss champion almost never made the playoff, which it never did. The SEC and the Big Ten often had one loss or undefeated champions, which the committee favored. Late kickoffs and lack of national visibility. Most Pac-12 games were played on the West Coast, often starting at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Many voters and fans in the East and South simply didn't watch those games. That hurt the conference in the eye test and national perception. Weaker TV deals and branding. The Pac-12 network had poor distribution and production compared to ESPN and Fox's coverage of the SEC and Big Ten. This made the Pac-12 feel like a smaller conference even when the teams were good. The lack of marquee non-conference wins. Pac-12 teams often struggle to get or win big non-conference matchups. When teams like Oregon or USC lost early to SEC/Big Ten powers, it reinforced the narrative that the Pac-12 was weaker. Committee bias and conference strength perception. By the late 2010s, the playoff committee saw the SEC and the Big Ten as stronger overall. That meant a one-loss SEC or Big Ten team had a better chance than a one-loss Pac-12 team. The ACC, Clemson, and the Big 12, Oklahoma, also had consistent champions who made the playoff, regularly squeezing out the Pac-12. So let's go. A summary of the Pac-12 playoff appearances again. 2014, Oregon lost the national championship. 2016, Washington lost in the semifinal. I don't know why they said 2017 and 2023 none, but it was actually 2023. Washington lost in the championship. So in short, too much parity, bad TV timing, weak perception, and inconsistent dominance made the Pac-12 almost invisible in the playoff. Would you like me to show what would have happened if the playoff had been 12 teams during those years and how many Pac-12 teams would have gotten in? Yeah, and I said don't forget 2023 Washington. They said, exactly, great catch. You're absolutely right. 2023 Washington made the playoff too, led by Michael Penix Jr. Here's the updated summary of all the Pac-12 playoff appearances during the 4-team era, 2014 and 2023. 2014, Oregon won semifinal versus Florida State, lost national championship to Ohio State. 2016, Washington Huskies lost semifinal versus Alabama. 2023, Washington Huskies won semifinal versus Texas, lost national championship to Michigan. So over the 10 seasons, the Pac-12 only made the playoff 3 times, and only 2 schools, Oregon and Washington, ever reached it. That's still far behind the SEC, Big Ten, ACC, and Big 12 in appearances. Would you like me to show a comparison of each conference total playoff appearances from 2014 to 2020? No? Well, yeah. But and also, every time a team gets close, they lose. Like in 2015, Stanford had 2 losses, won the Pac-12. 2017, USC lost 2 games. Then in 2018, Washington State was the front runner when they had 1 loss, but then lost to Washington, where Washington won Pac-12 with 3 losses. 2019, Utah had 1 loss, but then lost to 2-loss Oregon. Then in 2020, USC lost to Oregon. Now, I think USC would have probably had 2 losses or 1 loss already, but USC lost to Oregon. 2021, Utah beat Oregon twice. Then 2022, USC lost to Utah when they were in the playoff hunt. You said exactly, James. That's spot on. You basically summed up the story of the Pac-12 playoff curse during the 4-team era. Every time the conference is close to getting in, the top contenders stumble at the worst possible moment, usually in the final week or the Pac-12 championship game. Let's go year by year and lay it out clearly. So playoff history, Pac-12 playoff history, close calls and collapses. 2014, Oregon. They made the playoff. Marcus Mariota, Heisman year. Beat Florida State in the semifinals. And lost to Ohio State in the title game. 2015, Stanford. They were 12-2. They had an early loss to Northwestern, which killed their playoff hopes. Even though they dominated late and beat Notre Dame, 2 losses kept them out. They finished number 6 in the CFP rankings, just outside, and they won the Rose Bowl against Iowa. In 2016, Washington. They made the playoff, finished 12-1, and lost to USC, who was, you don't lost to USC, and they lost to Alabama in the semifinals. 2017, USC 11-2, right? So they look strong behind Sam Darnold, but they lost badly to Notre Dame, 49-14, and lost to Washington State, which stuffed their playoff chances. Even after winning the Pac-12, those 2 losses doomed them. In 2018, now Washington State was they were 10-1. It was Minshew Mania year. They were right in the hunt, but then they lost the Apple Cup to Washington, which cost them the conference title and any playoff chance. Washington already had losses. Lost to Auburn at the beginning of the year, then lost to another team, then lost again. But 9-3 Washington won the Pac-12, but of course wasn't playoff caliber. In 2019, Utah 11-2. In the Pac-12, Oregon and Utah were both in the hunt for the playoffs. Oregon lost to Auburn, Utah lost to USC. Then Oregon lost to Jaden Daniels, and when he was at Arizona State, which cost Oregon a chance to get to the playoff. So then Oregon won the next game, then they were 10-2, and Utah was 11-1. Entering the Pac-12 championship, Utah had a real playoff shot because they were ranked number 5. If they win, they were in. But of course, because LSU was going to beat Georgia. LSU beat Georgia. So all they had to do was win. But Utah then got upset by 2-loss Oregon, which opened the door. That loss opened the door for Oklahoma to take the last playoff spot. 2020, USC. So I wish they would have continued the season. They said they're 5-1 COVID year. I think they would have lost to Alabama and they lost from Rails probably. Yeah, probably. They were undefeated in the regular season, but lost to Oregon, who had 2 losses, 4-2, in the Pac-12 championship. Oregon again played the spoiler. They were spoilers. In 2021, it was a weird year for the Pac-12. Nobody was in the hunt for the playoff. Oregon beat Ohio State in the second game of the year, but then lost to Stanford, lost to Utah. Utah already had losses because Utah beat Oregon twice, including the Pac-12 title game. It was a great story, but they had too many early losses to contend for the playoff. In 2022, this one was heartbreaking. USC 11-3. Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams had them right on the edge. Ranked number 4 before the Pac-12 title game, were up big against Utah, but then lost again to Utah, 47-24. That loss knocked them out and then let Ohio State sneak in. But in 2023, Washington 14-1 finally broke through again, beat Oregon twice, went undefeated into the playoff, beat Texas in the semifinal, lost to Michigan in the national championship. So in summary, why they kept falling short. Number 1, no margin for error. The Pac-12 didn't get the same benefit of the doubt as the SEC or Big Ten. Conference cannibalization. Strong parity meant the best team rarely escaped with 1 loss or fewer. 3, championship heartbreaks. 2019 Utah, 2023 USC, and 2022 USC all lost win and end games. Number 4, timing and perception. Late games, weaker branding, and earlier non-conference losses hurt their national profile. In short, the Pac-12 often had a playoff caliber team until the last week of the season. Would you like me to make a quick chart showing each year's Pac-12 team that almost made it and what game ruined it? That would make the trend super clear visually. Well, not that, but this is why the Pac-12 has had playoff struggles. Playoff struggles, right? They get in, they get close, and then they can't get in. But that happens with a lot of teams sometimes. Well, that is my video for today. I think I posted this like a day ago, yesterday or whenever this is posted. I don't know when, but actually, I think it'll be posted tomorrow night. So, Sunday night on Mother's Day, this video will be posted. Or, wait, we'll see. And this has been your boy, JJ Tennis, and peace out.
All right, y'all just let me know if you need anything, okay?
Yes, sir.